Welcome back to Brandon Sports, everybody. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're here to go over the Dallas Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions football game that just took place. Detroit wins 44-30, so I got my pick wrong, but it don't matter. But we're going to break this down. But before we break this down, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more great content coming up. So I told you guys I was excited for this game, which I was. This was actually a great game for Detroit. I picked the Dallas Cowboys to win, and the reason why I did that is because of Detroit's defense, and I thought that Dallas was going to be able to just run all over this Detroit defense, but I was wrong. In the first half, the Detroit Lions played really well on the defensive side of the ball. You had so far in the first quarter, great defense by both teams. A sack by Detroit. Campbell and Aiden Hutchinson was in on the play. Now, that play that was in the back of the end zone, I thought should have been a safety, but they were saying the ball was moving forward progress. I thought it was a safety because as soon as Campbell breaks up, he comes up the middle, he grabs Prescott and tries to push him in, which is basically trying to get him down. I feel like that was just a wrong call, but it's all right. We let it go, but they still won the game, but I thought that was a suspect. It should have been a safety in my opinion, but, you could be wrong. Amon-Ra St. Brown had an amazing catch on 2nd and 13. Then after that, Jamar Gibbs ran in for a touchdown to cap off that drive. A great catch by Amon-Ra St. Brown. It was fantastic. It was just a great throw by Jared Goff. And I told you guys, we'll get to the numbers, but I told you about Jared Goff and how Jared Goff basically had to play a good game. He can't fumble the football and he can't throw an interception. And so far, looking at the numbers, he did not do that. I told you guys in my preview, I said in order for Detroit to win, he has to play a clean game, and he did play a clean game. And the right guard, Tate Rutledge on Sam Williams, with a great block for Jamar Gibbs in that game. The Detroit defense showed up. I thought since they were so banged up and their offense is so banged up. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown, as I said, had a great catch. He wound up actually playing, and he made a huge difference for his team. But Jameson Williams, I told you guys, he had to step up in this game in order to get them rolling, and he did. So Detroit leads 10-3 in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10 for Detroit. Gets a sack second quarter by the defensive end, Muhammad. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. But in the second quarter, with 6 minutes left in the game, Ferguson fumbles the ball. Jack Campbell, number 46, with the forced fumble. He basically punched the ball out. David Montgomery had a nice touchdown run. After that, Detroit did a good job by holding Dallas to 9 points in the first half, and they had 3 sacks. And this is surprising for me that Dallas is only held to 9 points in the first half, because I'm like, with this high-powered offense, they should be able to do something. Javonte Williams been going crazy all year. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens has been going absolutely nuts all year. So, and the fact that Detroit was so hurt on defense and multiple players on IR, you figure, okay, Dallas Cowboys got to get it going. The Dallas Cowboys just have to get it going on offense to go against Detroit defense. And Detroit's defense, and shout out to their defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, they need to give him a bonus. $25,000 bonus. They need to give him something because he did an amazing job. And I said in my preview predictions that, hey, listen, Aaron Glenn ain't there because it's a totally different style of coaching, maybe, and I was wrong. He really stepped up today as their defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard. I know he was under the same tree as Aaron Glenn, but man, he really showed, hey, listen, I'm here for the long haul. I'm here to be a good coach, and these guys going to basically fall in line under me. And he did an amazing job with his defense in the first half. So basically at the half, it was 20 points for the Lions versus 9 points for the Cowboys. In the third quarter, as soon as the third quarter started, Dak Prescott threw an interception. Jared Goff threw a touchdown to Isaac Tisla, if that's how you say his name correctly. Javonte Williams came in for the Dallas Cowboys and had a touchdown. In the fourth quarter, Ryan Flournoy with a touchdown. Jamar Gibbs had another touchdown, a 10-yard rush touchdown. Muhammad had a big sack with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 4 sacks total for the Lions. Another big play by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nice great catch for Amon-Ra. He played a great game, even though he had 6 catches for 92 yards and he didn't have a touchdown. But I thought he still played amazing from coming off that ankle injury, and it only took him a week to get back. And they were, reporting about how he is tough and he's a tough guy, but he really showed, hey, listen, I'm here to play. In the way that he was running his routes, and especially in the pregame when he was running his routes and stopping and cutting and stuff like that, I was like, oh, he's ready. But nobody knew until that point when he gave somebody a thumbs up that he was going to play. I thought he did an amazing job. So the score is 30-37. Detroit is leading with 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Then Jamar Gibbs, another touchdown run. Lions lead 44-30, and that was the final score of the football game. Now, for me, all in all, even though I predicted the Dallas Cowboys to win because they really needed this win to continuously keep going, Dak Prescott was 31-47, 376 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times in total. Javonte Williams had 17 carries for 67 yards, 3.9-yard average, and he also had a touchdown, which was a nice touchdown run. CeeDee Lamb, hopefully CeeDee Lamb gets better from that concussion that he sustained. It was a really bad fall that he had, but hopefully he'll be back the week after next. Hopefully just give him a week to rest and he'll be back the week after next after that. But CeeDee Lamb was cooking. 6 catches, 121 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, but he looked really good. and he was only had 8 targets, but he was really cooking and really made Dak Prescott look good in this game. Now, Ryan Flournoy, if that's how you say his name correctly, apologize if I got it wrong. He had 9 catches, number 19. He had 9 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. Now, George Pickens this game had 9 targets. He had 5 catches for 37 yards. So the Detroit Lions actually did a good job holding one receiver. You see, when the Dallas Cowboys faced the Kansas City Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys had George Pickens going off. CeeDee Lamb going off. And then after that, in the second half, when they started to pay attention more to CD, Pickens then started going off. So I was like, if the Detroit Lions defense is banged up, they have to go to each one. That's what I said. Dak Prescott, throw the ball. Just do what they've been doing. Throw the ball. And Detroit's defense, again, shout out to Kelvin Shepard, made amazing play after amazing play. And you look at the way Detroit playing on offense, again, Jared Goff, 25 of 34, 309 yards, 9.1 average, 1 touchdown. David Montgomery has 6 carries for 60 yards, 10-yard average and a touchdown. Jamar Gibbs, 12 carries for 43 yards. Even if it was 3.6 average, he had 3 touchdowns, which was 4 rushing touchdowns in total. Jamison Williams has 7 catches for 96 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 catches for 92 yards. Jamar Gibbs, 7 catches for 77 yards. And that's what I said in my previous predictions, that if they want to get this offense rolling against the Dallas Cowboys, they have to throw the ball to Jamar Gibbs and go on the outside. And that's exactly what they did. Again, I said Jared Goff had to play a complete game and had to play a perfect game in order for him to win, and he did. He did his job. And I said even if Detroit would have lost, if you still would have played a great game, nobody could have said nothing to Jared Goff because you did what you have to do. And he did what he was supposed to do, score 44 points, and this defense came through. Even if they had 30 points dropped on them, they still came through for their football team. Now, I actually took this picture when I was actually watching the game. It says playoff probability. The Dallas Cowboys, with the win in today's game, had a 39% chance of making the playoffs, and with the loss, it'll be a 9% chance. And with the Detroit Lions, a 55% chance if they win tonight's game, which they did wind up winning, obviously. And with the loss, it'll have been a 19% chance. That's why I said Dallas needed to win this game, because if they had won, 39% chance is better than now they have a 9% chance. Versus Detroit, if they lost, it would have been 19%. Versus now they have a 55% chance to actually go to the playoffs. So this was a great win for the Lions, even though, like I said, I picked the Cowboys because I knew that they desperately needed to get this game. And one thing that the Detroit Lions don't do is lose back-to-back games. They haven't done that since, I think, Dan Campbell's first year as head coach of this football team. So that's a great streak that they have. They haven't lost back-to-back games. Anytime they lose, they always come back and win. So that's actually a good stat to have. But overall, if you look to the future of the Dallas Cowboys, now they're facing Minnesota next week, which they should probably get a W on that, because obviously the Vikings are not playing well. So the Dallas Cowboys should be able to bounce back from that. And if you look ahead for the Detroit Lions, they face the Los Angeles Rams next week at 4:25 on Fox. So that's going to be a tough game for them too, because now you win a game up against Dallas. You have to face the Rams. The Rams, like I said, they just lost to the Panthers. I said it in my previous prediction that they lost to the Panthers, and they got the Cardinals next. So that should be a victory for them. So now when you guys are coming face to face, this is going to be the exciting game for them next week. But we'll get to that next week. But all in all, Detroit played well. Again, Kelvin Shepard, the defense coordinator for Detroit Lions, gets a lot of the credit. The offense did what they're supposed to do because it's a high-powered offense. But the defense actually came through and showed up for Detroit, and they showed up for Jared Goff, and that's what they were supposed to do, and they did it the right way. 4 sacks total for the team on Dak Prescott. So let me know in the comment section down below how you guys felt about this game. How did you feel about how the Detroit Lions play in this game? How did you feel about the Dallas Cowboys and their loss in this game? How did you feel overall about this football game? Before I go, make sure you hit that like button. You subscribe to the YouTube channel for more great content. Until next time, guys, see you real soon.